As dawn broke, Myar practiced water magic in the garden, her thoughts drifting to Haruto. Resolving to concentrate, she intensified her training. Just then, her friends arrived, inquiring about her activity. Myar confirmed she was practicing, and they applauded her diligent and life-loving nature. With sincere gratitude, she explained that while they enjoyed peace, Haruto worked tirelessly to maintain it. Motivated to be less of a liability, she trained with renewed vigor. A friend marveled at her rapid water conjuration, then mentioned Myar's correspondence with Aisha, crediting it for her blossoming abilities. Myar promised to convey her thanks upon Aisha's return. The scene transitioned to Aisha's quarters, where Latifa presented her signature dish. Tasting it, Aisha found it delectable, reminiscent of Haruto's cooking. Latifa confessed she had learned the recipe from him. The narrative shifted to the forest, where Beltram knights patrolled. Duke Siri materialized, inquiring if they were maid adventurers. They refuted this. When they questioned his purpose in the forest, Siri remained silent, then recognized them as Beltram soldiers. The knights were taken aback. Siri clarified that he knew they served Princess Flora and a maid. He acknowledged their unfamiliarity with him, but stated he had matters to discuss. Harry's associate reminded Siri that, as Beltram nobility, he should identify himself. He added that even with identification, their situation remained unchanged, so there was no issue with Siri exercising his authority as a citizen, provided he refrained from slaughtering them. Feeling trapped, the knights initiated an assault to apprehend the adventurers. Siri unsheathed his formidable blade. A soldier sought his captain's approval to evaluate the circumstances, but the request was denied. Siri lunged with his potent sword, striking a knight with astonishing swiftness and force before turning to the others. Attempting to overcome the so-called cursed duke, a soldier tried a sneak attack from behind. However, Siri employed physical enhancement magic to immobilize the knight and flung him against a tree. Witnessing their comrade's fate, the remaining knights attacked. Siri continued felling them with his powerful weapon. The exhilarating part for Siri came from employing his exceptional velocity to dash and strike, rendering them unconscious. Observing this, a terrified Alphonse realized defeat was imminent. He lamented the proliferation of cursed swords. After the skirmish, Siri's companion cast a spell to collect the incapacitated knights, for which Siri voiced his appreciation. As they gathered the unconscious soldiers, Alphonse's unease escalated. He insisted on summoning reinforcements and retreated with his men. Siri cautioned that he would pursue them regardless. True to his word, Siri relentlessly followed, intercepting every escape attempt. As promised, Siri assured Alphonse he would remain unharmed. A petrified Alphonse nervously offered Siri all his money. The story moved to Haruto with Duke Coconut, Liz, and Flora. Haruto prepared to depart, expressing gratitude for their hospitality. Liz promised to send an envoy in a few days and invited Haruto to remain in a maid. Aura voiced her wish for further conversation upon their next encounter, desiring to express their gratitude properly. Hiraki added that he would continue safeguarding a maid's borders and surrounding regions. He noted that if Haruto visited Liz's castle, there would be ample opportunities to meet. Liz herself suggested a tea party. Haruto accepted the invitation. Bidding farewell, Haruto set off for home. Later, Liz sat with Hiraki, and the girls sensed his disquiet. Hiraki dismissed their concern, directing their attention to Flora's unusual behavior. Flora, surprised, questioned his meaning. He explained that since the demonic incursion, she seemed perpetually distracted. Hiroki remarked to Princess Flora, "Your thoughts seemed elsewhere." Flora inquired how she appeared. Hiroaki answered, "Your gaze was constantly drawn to him." Startled, Flora asked, "Do you mean Haruto?" Hiroaki affirmed this. Flora explained, "As our representative, I was contemplating how best to thank him for our rescue." Duke Haganot attempted to alleviate the tension, observing Flora's discomfort. Hiroaki commented, "I understand, but people tend to fuss over Haruto. It's inevitable, so I wouldn't dwell on it." The narrative cut to a soldier witnessing the gruesome metamorphosis of his fellow knights into monstrous demons. Overcome with terror, he cried, "What is happening?" A shadowy figure replied, "It's time for bodily alterations. I intend to reshape his being." The figure then directed Lucius, "Disrobe them." Lucius retorted, "Undressing men is not my forte. Handle it yourself." The figure questioned, "Why did you leave him conscious?" Lucius replied, "He is ideal. I believe he will be an asset. Failure would cost us our precious jewel. We also seek to amplify the other's powers by integrating our pawns." The figure responded, "Do I have an alternative?" The soldier shrieked as they seized him, begging for release. The figure embedded a gem into his body, saying, Fear not. There is no pain yet. Your form and spirit are about to be transformed. This will take time. A luminous beam emanated from the soldier, accompanied by a glow in his eyes. The scene returned to the castle, where Duke Haganats addressed a guard. The search party hasn't reported back. Does this indicate more demons in the forest than anticipated? Go, I will give you further instruction. The guard departed, and Huguenot mused, I could deploy the enhanced troops. Alphonse was also part of that team. Princess Flora reflected, was my behavior odd today? What should I do? Herudo has a different name and hair color. He can't be the same person. But if Herudo is indeed Master Rio, he saved me. I couldn't thank him or resolve the misunderstanding. I was helpless. Should I apologize? I acted terribly, and an apology won't suffice. Lancelot apologized to Duke Huguenot. I should have dispatched my own men. Huguenot responded, no. I insisted on a standard search party of our knights. Their demise isn't confirmed. Let's reevaluate. Liz thanked him and stated, I'll send another group. Huguenot advised, deploy them at sunrise. They might still appear in the morning. We should have eradicated most demons in the previous encounter. Liz concurred, yes, although some fled. I doubt they all escaped. Minotaurs remain. Huguenot cautioned, we've prepared for the worst. Stronger demons might exist. Lancelot contemplated, so many demons. It's hard to believe they were all eliminated, but this presumption is crucial. She then addressed Haganot, I'll ask Arya to investigate. I'll also select skilled servants and soldiers, equipping them with cursed swords. Haganot offered, I'll send my knights. Lancelot declined, we can't spare more of your men. We'll manage. Huguenot inquired about Heruto. Should we request his aid again? Lancelot replied, as an unmade adventurer, he'd be easily approached. But he's a civilian with responsibilities. We can't involve him unnecessarily. As long as Minotaurs pose a threat to a maid, we can resist with some force. Haganot agreed, you're right. Consult the adventurers first. It's a pressing matter. The shadowy figure addressed the demons. Our newly transformed subjects are almost acclimated. They are my creations, after all. I wish to observe them further. He cast a concealment spell, then turned to Lucius. An exasperated Lucius complained, there are so many. Find them storage. I finally have some peace. Now I can sleep soundly. The figure retorted, we strike at dawn, so don't oversleep. Lucius countered, if you fear me oversleeping, rely on your creations instead. They're far more useful. Unlike ineffectual humans, their strength is reliable. I could have managed everything alone. As Lucius grumbled, the figure observed, this one is a complete resurgence. He's more ferocious than the others, his fighting prowess significantly enhanced. He lacks independent thought, but retains intelligence. He's challenging to control, but invaluable for tomorrow's assault. Aisha spoke with Herudo. I sense demons, but their presence is unusual. They're dispersed, yet concentrated west. Normally, such a strong presence would be easily detectable, but I can't pinpoint them. Something is amiss. This has troubled me since yesterday. At the western gate, a guard reported, someone's on the main road. We've received a report that the forest knights are returning. The guard scrutinized the approaching figures. They're not knights. They're demons. Raising the alarm, he rang the warning bell. The episode concluded. Stay tuned for future installments. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe and enable notifications for updates. Our new episode commenced with Herudo and Celia. Celia entered to check on him. He reassured her of his well-being, but admitted his lack of specific knowledge. However, he sensed the gravity of the situation. Numerous demons, possibly minotaurs, had appeared both within and near the city. He stressed the need for information before action. Celia urged him not to worry about her, asserting that despite her perceived weakness, her magic would contribute to their extermination. Herudo instructed everyone to prepare for an arduous battle. Panic erupted in the city as residents witnessed the large-scale attack and billowing smoke. Rio flew to assess the situation. The gate appeared destroyed. The scene shifted to the main gate, which demons had breached. Despite the tense situation, the defenders fought valiantly. Herudo received telepathic notice of a substantial demonic force in the east. The city faced a two-pronged assault. A massive demon shattered the gate with a single blow, allowing demons to pour in. Momentarily stunned, Herudo observed citizens fleeing towards the city center. Overwhelmed by the eastern onslaught, Herudo chose to aid his friends. Telepathically, he assured them of their safety. Herudo flew towards the eastern side. A fierce battle raged as Flora and Chloe defended the city. Just as things looked bleak, Herudo arrived, shifting the battle's momentum. He declared he would lead the charge, assigning the others to prevent demons from reaching the plaza, aided by all available reinforcements. Herud advanced to face the colossal beast. Its imposing size did not deter him. With a single swing of his devastating sword, he obliterated countless approaching demons. In the command center, a magical communication device relayed a report from the observation tower. Numerous demons had breached the eastern gate. The commander inquired about the extent of their incursion. An officer replied that precise details remained unclear, but estimated their advance at no more than 500 meters. Station forces were minimal, and reinforcements were urgently needed. Most key personnel were at the western gate, leaving only Chloe guarding the east. Cosette and others were evacuating civilians. The commander departed as another soldier reported an exceptionally powerful warrior, possibly Herud, decimating demons single-handedly at the eastern gate. A group of spies moved covertly, their motives unknown. At the eastern gate, Herud fought brilliantly, obliterating demons with astonishing might. Everyone marveled at his strength. However, Herud sensed something amiss. The demons weren't attacking with their full might, hinting at a hidden agenda. He contacted Aisha telepathically, inquiring about any unusual activity in the city. She reported stability and imminent evacuation completion. He asked about demonic movements, which she confirmed as normal, mentioning the western gate's successful defense. Thanking her, Herud resumed his relentless assault. Miss Natalie and Miss Cosette arrived at the eastern gate, inquiring about casualties. Chloe informed them there were none thanks to Herud's solo efforts. They expressed their deep gratitude. Herud mentioned his companions still at the hotel and his desire to check on them before demons reached them. Before leaving, he pledged to eliminate the colossal demon. He landed a fatal blow and departed. At the western gate, the battle reached its peak. Arya fought skillfully, but noticed the remaining demons weren't advancing. A greater scheme seemed at play. Suddenly, the demons roared in unison, perhaps a signal or a tactic orchestrated by a leader. The hidden operatives received a signal to act. The shape-shifting Alphonse received encouragement from his companion. In the city center, a demon appeared. Fortunately, Herud was present. He confronted and swiftly dispatched the creature. As more demons materialized, Herud effortlessly repelled them, earning the gratitude of the townsfolk. Cielo arrived, informing Herud of human-form demons infiltrating the city. She had rushed to notify Lady Lieselot. The army managed the evacuation to protect citizens from these infiltrators. Alphonse and his team infiltrated the royal palace. Alphonse received orders to spare the princess and eliminate all others. A guard intercepted them, questioning Alphonse's apparent solitude despite hearing him speak to someone. Alphonse confirmed he was alone as a human, but implied the presence of another entity. He swiftly killed the guard as the group stormed the royal chamber.